ADHD and addiction, wired for more. ADHD and addiction do not just coexist. They often collide, and at the center of that collision, boom, impulsivity. And for people with ADHD, impulsivity is both a gift and a curse. It's what makes us bold, creative, willing to take risks that others wouldn't dare. But that same impulsivity can lead us to self-destruction. One quick decision, one bad impulse, and boom, suddenly we're chasing the next high. We're chasing the next thrill, the next escape. We don't pause, we don't plan, we act, and then we pay the price. But here's the truth. That same impulsivity that led us to addiction can also lead us to recovery and potentially even greater things in life. When we truly decide to get better, we can be all in right now. No hesitation, no delay. Impulsivity got us here, but it can also be the spark that gets us out. The same fire that burned us can also ignite our comeback story. So to any of you out there who have ADHD and you're listening to this message, believe me when I tell you that you are wired for more. This episode of The Recovery Couch is brought to you by J.B. Davis at Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. For integrity, service, and unbeatable deals, ask for J.B. in Centerville and tell them The Recovery Couch sent you. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to The Recovery Couch. This is Wired for More, a 12-part mini-series exploring the intersection of ADHD and addiction. I'm your host, Brandon Couch, and my upcoming book, Step 4, A Journey Through Addiction, is coming this fall. If you want to help bring this to life, head to Kickstarter.com and search Help Publish Step 4. Impulsivity. That shit is a double-edged sword. It can be a good friend. It can also be your worst enemy. It's that part of ADHD that can make you spontaneous. It can make you exciting, full of ideas and life. It can make you be the one who always says, hey, let's do it. But it's also the part that can wreck your life in seconds flat. For me, it showed up everywhere. In conversations I should have walked away from, and texts I shouldn't have sent, and drugs I didn't think twice about using, and money I spent before the bill even hit. It was like there was a gap between my thoughts and my actions. And I lived in that gap with no pause, with no processing, with simply just reaction. And the worst part, I didn't realize that it was doing damage at times. That's the thing with impulsivity. It makes us primary targets for people who sit back judging the doers. But here's what I've learned in my recovery journey. And maybe, just maybe, it'll free you too. Impulsivity isn't evil. Oftentimes it's just untrained energy, untamed urgency. It's a fire that can either burn down your life or light the way forward. Learning how to pause, learning how to breathe before reacting. That's been one of the greatest tools in my recovery. And believe me, I'm still learning. But every time I slow down, every time I don't act on impulse, then I record that as a win. And then I celebrate that. And that is growth. And that is freedom. So if impulsivity has hurt your relationships or wrecked your plans or made you feel out of control, well, believe me when I tell you, I get it. Impulsivity doesn't make you crazy. It doesn't make you hopeless. As a matter of fact, it makes you just like me. And people like us, we were wired for more. This episode of The Recovery Couch is brought to you by True Story Media. True Story Media is helping real people tell real stories. Stories that lead to real change. Whether you're launching a podcast, writing a book, or preparing for the stage, True Story Media helps you share your testimony. And it helps you share it with impact. Learn more at www.recoverycouch.com. ADHD might make impulses feel stronger and reduce our ability to control those impulses. But with practice, we can get better at managing our impulses. Impulsivity is a core ADHD symptom. It can appear in a variety of ways, such as talking out of turn, reckless spending, and other risk-taking behaviors. If you're finding hope in these episodes, join us over in the Recovery Couch Inner Circle on Patreon. It's our exclusive community where you'll get bonus content, early access to future episodes, and frequent Q&As with me and some of our special guests. Also, don't miss what's coming. We've got Michael Thompson, the author of The Heart of a Warrior, a fantastic author, but an even better person. Super excited to have Michael Thompson. We're also welcoming Henry Wannery, author and pastor, and an unbelievable guest on the Recovery Couch. Stay tuned for more on that episode. And please go check out the episode we just released with Ryan Canaday, founder and lead pastor of Free Recovery Community in Denver. Was a fantastic interview, and he offered plenty of insight and wisdom. Again, if you want to help publish Step 4, A Journey Through Addiction, go to Kickstarter.com and search Help Publish Step 4. Every pledge matters. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Recovery Couch. You can learn to pause. You can rewire your brain, and you can recover from the things your impulses tried to destroy. You are not your mistakes, and you are just like me, wired for more. This episode of the Recovery Couch is brought to you by Greg Schwartz at Remax Victory and Affiliates. Whether you're buying or selling your home, Greg brings heart, hustle, and honesty to every deal. Call Greg at 937-477-8975 today. ADHD and addiction, wired for more. In this episode, we took a raw look at how ADHD and addiction often intertwine, especially when impulsivity is in the driver's seat. We talked about how impulsivity can feel like both a superpower and a trap. It fuels our creativity. It fuels our energy. It fuels our big leaps of faith, but it can also lead us straight into chaos. It can lead us straight into relapse, and it can lead us straight into regret. We explored the reality that for many of us, addiction wasn't planned. It was impulsive. It was one moment, one decision, and one escape that became a cycle. But we also highlighted the hope that same impulsivity, when harnessed, can fuel our recovery. The same part of us that once ran headfirst into destruction can now run boldly toward healing. Because you, my friend, like me, are wired for more.